welcome back to the program. Good friend of ours, Rebel. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good, thanks.
That is great. So it's time of year when people say, you know what, we have to start doing the fixing up.
This warm weather has got everybody calling.
Mm-hmm. And what are they calling about?
Well, we're getting a lot of calls for just about everything we do, but primarily I would say roofing is something that slows down in the winter, and now all of a sudden, you know, it's really kicking up. So.
All right, so this is that's your forte as well.
Yes. Yeah, we've got a before and after I brought in of a house we did siding and roofing on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We just finished up.
Now, what area of the city is this house located?
That's over by Beaverdale. Right.
I was going to guess Beaverdale because of the trees.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a beautiful home. It's actually, you can't see it from the road, but that's the before there. And there's the after. You can see it's got the steel roof on it, and although you can't really tell it because they choose a similar color from this distance, but that is brand new siding as well. You can see it's
Now, what did you do first? Did you do the siding first, or did you do the roofing first? You always do the roof first?
Well, when you're dealing with a house like this that has a lot of sidewall applications and stuff where the roof is tied into the siding, I like to do the roof first where I can peel the siding back and actually go overboard on my flashings. I like to make sure that there can't be any leaks there, and a lot of times new constructions, they do the very minimum. And so since we're doing the siding anyway, we cut that siding back and we run the flashings up the wall, so there's no way there can be any leaks. Mm-hmm. And so we like to do the roof first and then come in and do the siding.
So you do a little extra flashing. How deep do you end up going?
We go up 12 to 18 inches. 12 to 18 inches
What's
with
required?
A rubber membrane. You see in the new construction lot, I've been out on houses where I'm the third roof and they have no flashing.
None
at all, and so that's your a lot of new construction is I beat up on these guys all the time, but cash is king, and so they beat the guys down, putting it on down to where it makes a difference, $50 worth of flashing or $100 in flashing, and so we see that a lot in new construction, but not all new builders are like that, but about this much, about 3.5 inches is about what you'll see if they've got flashing there.
But yours is about that much.
Yeah, we like to wrap it up with a rubber membrane. We like to do a primary, secondary, and a tertiary seal. It's like what we do. We put 3 different barriers in because I never want to call back for a leak, And the thing of it is, when that happens, it's not just a leak that you have to repair. Now you're looking at water spots or ceiling damage and I don't want to make people mad like that.
Right. Now,
they do. I've done it. I've had issues. We were doing a big roof, and we took cedar shake off, and then we put our membranes on and everything. And before we got the roof back on, somebody had stepped on a nail that put a small hole in it's just one of those things where everything just lined up, and people got to know when you're doing this kind of stuff, it's possible, you're talking human error when you're doing so many different things, but we did, and I ended up repainting an entire ceiling, so.
Wow.
But
we sent them out.
You took care of the situation.
Oh, absolutely, and we sold a lot of jobs off of it, because I tell people, it's great for a company to when you're looking at a company that does good work, but show me their mad customer. How did they handle that? When somebody was, when something didn't go right, how did they handle it? One time, I had a salesman working for me, and he was talking to a lady about siding, and a piece of siding had come off next door. And so she said, my guys were there fixing it, and she says, but you guys didn't do that, because they waved at each other. And she said, well, you guys didn't do that, did you? And he said, well, yeah. She said, well, I'm not sure I want you to do my job because the piece of siding come off. I'd like to put a disclaimer in here. That was when the tornado went through Indianola.
Yeah, that's
and it was one piece.
That'll cause trouble.
But a piece come off. Yeah. It was the very top one. And he said, well, wouldn't you rather do business with knowing that came off yesterday? They called and we're here this morning fixing it. And that was all,
that's a good point.
But, you want to know how they handle it. And so.
Right.
All right, now we're talking about the roofing. You brought some roofing samples with you.
Absolutely. This here is, this one here is shake, and it looks like a cedar shake, and this color actually looks like an aged cedar shake when it's on the roof. This is a gray. I'll show you this one here. That's a gray, and this is called cottage. That's called cottage. You can see what that looks like. And that's also steel. And then we've got one that looks more like a shingle.
And that's steel too.
That's steel as well. And I've had people literally holding this in their hand looking at it, and I've said, you know the neighbor up there, we put theirs on last year. And he said, yeah, but that's asphalt. And I'm like, no, that's what you're holding in your hand. You know, this is actually 26 gauge steel roll formed, so it's 50 times stronger than the thickness of the steel. It actually has a 50-year life expectancy. They put a process on called Galvalume, which adds 60 years to that. So now you're looking at 110-year life expectancy. Then they put a primer, then they put polymerized rubber, then the stone coat and an acrylic overcoat on it. This truly is the last roof you'll ever put on your house.
Really?
And it only cost about twice, I average about twice of an asphalt roof. And so people say, you know, but that's expensive. I'm like, no, asphalt's expensive because I put a good asphalt on for you. I'm going to be back in 10, 12 years to put another one on for you.
Do it again.
Where this one still looks brand new.
Wonderful.
So that's one of the things about it. And then that house also had the siding on it, and we do have the insulated siding that's very, very impact resistant.
Wow.
And fade resistant. It handles heat much better than you see with typical vinyl type sidings. I showed up at a call last week down by Afton, Iowa, and the gal said, now my daughter done looked at this and she said that's vinyl. I grinned. I said, well, you could think of it like vinyl 2.0 or 3.0. It is a vinyl in the sense that it's made the same way, but the resins are actually a polymer resin, which is completely different. It expands and contracts half the ratio as vinyl, so there's less issues with it.
And also the thing you like about it is that the gaps are filled too with the insulation,
Yes,
which also
yes.
gives it more support, doesn't it?
More support, insulating value, quiets your house down. I mean, it's just amazing. These two products here, this quiets your house down as well because they're dead airspace. You know, I've had people that live on 3580, and they're like, my gosh, I can't believe it. Cut the road noise down. And so, which I didn't realize it'd do that, but it does because of that dead airspace and then the siding. And so...
All right, so if we need something done, if you need a roof done, if you need some siding done, you need to get a hold of you, right?
That's right.
All right,
that's right.
Best way to get a hold of you here?
It's rebel@all4u.com, number 4 letter u.com, or 515-255-4872.
Wonderful. All right, so I'm sure you'll be busy, this next couple of months, definitely.
I sure hope so.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir. Good to see you.
Thanks, Rebel.
Thank you.